Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, my name is Brixton Lore, and you're tuning in to the Boy Time Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Some good lore.
Good lore. I'm mixing up the intro a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed, the last two have been just very slightly different. Trying to mix up the formula.
I have not.
Okay, well. You know, I've just gotten so used to saying hi ho ho, it's me blank, and now I'm mixing it up.
No, you're not.
Now I'm not. Now I'm Brixton Lore, which we'll get into later. But it's a slam dunk episode, as always. We have a lot of news. Last week, pretty slow. This week, we have a decent amount of stuff. Plus, we have stuff to talk about. We forgot to talk about Nope. Sorry. We'll be getting to it 3 weeks late, or about a month late now at this point. We'll talk about. I finished the Fast and Furious movies, all of them. I just watched Hobbs and Shaw today, so I'll be able to reflect and really analyze the series as a whole, which I have not been able to do. So that'll be fun. And we have some exciting gaming news. What is this?
No way.
Most of it is announcements for things that are going to be announced. Because we've gotten some stuff of what's going to be shown at Gamescom on August 23rd. That is the opening day of Gamescom. We are getting the new project by Unknown Worlds, who made Subnautica. Their new game is going to be shown that day, along with the new Sonic game. Everyone's very excited for the new Sonic game.
I love Sonic.
I love Sonic so much. I love Idris Elba as Knuckles. So yeah, you have that to look forward to. This week also saw the release of Spider-Man PS4 on Steam and Epic Games.
On the not PS4.
On the not PS4. It's a little bit weird. We still have to call it that because there's already a game called Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1. And there's also a movie tie-in game called Spider-Man for the PS2. Don't get those two confused. And then now we have Spider-Man on the PS4. This is not confusing at all, and they're all very different games. The first one, you're just like on some roofs, and you have to swing on the roof. And the other one is a movie tie-in game. And then this one is a completely original story, open world type game. And it's been getting pretty good reviews. So if you're a big Spider-Man fan, but you didn't have a PlayStation and you have a PC, pick it up. Pretty cool. I'll probably get it once it goes on sale because I'm sure the modding community for this is going to be weird, like the God of War one is. So it'd be kind of fun to swing around with some weirdo suits on. But related to that, I think I brought up last week, or I didn't bring it up at all, I don't remember. I was wondering if they were going to add Miles Morales to PC. We didn't know that until a couple days ago. PlayStation has unveiled their website that is exclusively for their PC releases. So it has all of the titles that are out on PC, where they're at. Also has a peek at some upcoming games. And the only ones that were on there when I looked at it a couple days ago when they first dropped it was Spider-Man, because it wasn't out yet. That Uncharted collection, that is Uncharted 4 and the Among Thieves, I think, which yes, Among Us. Uncharted Among Us. Mm-hmm. Which I advocate everybody to not buy if you have not played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, because Uncharted 4 is like the culmination of those three, and you kind of need to have the emotional connection to these characters before just playing the end of the series. It would be like watching like Infinity War or Endgame without seeing any of the other Marvel movies. That's the
People
best
definitely
way.
did that.
People definitely did that, but
Oh, yeah.
like you're definitely not getting the same experience as someone who has watched all the Marvel movies up to that point, or even a Marvel movie up to that point, because you pretty much got the gist from there. But also on that website, Miles Morales is confirmed coming to PC this fall. So if you have not played Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS4 or PS5, I highly recommend that one. I think it's actually, this is an unpopular opinion, but I think that it's actually better than the original Spider-Man on the PS4. I think Miles plays a whole lot better. He can turn invisible and he can shoot lightning. So it's Spider-Man but better, you know. The story is really short and it's kind of fine. I think the story in Spider-Man PS4 was better than Miles Morales, but I really like how Miles plays. So, plus it's Miles Morales, and I love Miles Morales. He's awesome. So, there you go. Get it when it comes out. We don't know when. It just says fall. So, have fun. That's it for gaming news. I'm going to get into the miscellaneous news. We don't usually have those, but I thought I'd bring it up. It is relating to streaming services. So if you don't care about streaming services, close your ears for about 1 minute. Leave. We are big streaming service
Get outta
fans. And frankly, you're not going to get anything from this.
companies.
AMC Plus is my favorite.
Let's go.
I love spending $60 a month so I can watch The Office. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that. But Disney Plus is getting a new thing. I guess they're pulling a Hulu and they're splitting up into multiple plans. The current plan that everyone has that is ad-free is going to be increased by $1 a month. It will be now $11 as opposed to $10 a month. And there is going to be an ad-supported plan for Disney Plus that will be $8 a month. So for $3 more, you can get no ads. It's weird because they actually detailed like how many ads you're going to be getting. I've never seen that from a streaming service before. So if you're getting the ad-supported plan, you're going to be getting 4 minutes of ads per hour, starting with 15 to 30-second spots at first. So they're probably going to up that once enough people get that plan.
It's just gonna turn into TV.
It's just going to turn into TV. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if there's a whole lot on Disney Plus that is worth seeing. I've been rewatching the 90s Spider-Man cartoon for nostalgia purposes. Still holds up. It's pretty good. Probably not as good as the Batman one, but I don't know if anything is going to beat the Batman one. So there you go. There's your streaming service news. Some people were upset. Some people were like, well, I'm going to get the cheaper one. I don't care, but there's the information. So do with it as you will. Let's get into some show news, because we have some show news. Better Call Saul is wrapping up today as of this podcast coming out. I am so sad. I love
I'm
Better Call
scared.
Saul. I gotta say, we have not seen the last episode, obviously, because it's not even out by the time this podcast comes out. But that second to last episode, whoo,
Sweet mama.
whoo, so
Did it again.
so good. I've been seeing that Rhea Seahorn clip as she's having the meltdown on the bus, and like every single, like all the film nerd stuff I follow, they're retweeting all of this, and they're like, this is the best acting I've ever seen in a TV show. I would agree. I think it's one of the best moments in TV. Honestly, it's so good. Yeah, like just how she has a complete meltdown. It's so crazy. I've watched it back like 3 or 4 times, just because of how impressed I am with her performance. It's really phenomenal. And you know, there was that big twist. Carol Burnett calls the police, and it's funny.
Well,
Wah wah. Average
you couldn't
white
get
woman
Carol
calling
Burnett
the
to
police.
you couldn't get her on just to be like some side character. She's got to be the nail that gets struck in the coffin.
I really like that. I love that like they actually gave her something to do.
Yeah.
Because you don't see her in anything really. I mean, she's so old. She's like in her 90s. Like, but she did well. I really liked her character in the show. She's just an old lady, but she seems to care for her sons, and she has a life alert on, which is kind of funny. So I'll be excited to see how this show ends. We'll talk about that next weekend, obviously, or not next weekend. We'll talk about it next episode.
Now we're gonna be gone.
No, yeah. Next, I guess this is as good a time as any.
No
podcast next week. I'm going to be moving. Me and Babby have a Kendrick concert, and I'm just going to stay up in Wisconsin up there. It'll be a whole lot of fun. But because we're going to be having too much fun by ourselves, there's going to be no podcast next weekend. But 2 weeks from now, we'll talk about Saul, and that'll be nice because it'll have kind of a week to breathe. Spoilers will be out, so we're not going to be spoiling anything too fresh.
Spoilers are up for that show like the night after it airs.
Yeah, I'm glad that we
the official
started,
account posts spoilers like really quick.
Yeah, they do, and I don't really like that. And it just shows up for me, like when I go on Twitter, it's like, you like Better Call
'cause they
Saul. Here's a
recommend
spoiler
topics.
for an episode that, yeah, I'm glad we're watching it the day of. But yeah, so we'll talk about that. But Vince has been doing the interview circuit now that his show's closing. He's apparently working on a new original TV series. It's not related to Breaking Bad. It's not in that
But
universe.
it does have Bob Odenkirk in it.
I hope so. I would love Bob Odenkirk to be in it. We literally know nothing else about it, but it's described as a blended, grounded, and thought-provoking genre drama that has been compared to The Twilight Zone. So is Vince Gilligan making a new Black Mirror? I don't know.
Make Twin Peaks.
Oh, Vince Twin Peaks? That could be interesting. If Vince and David Lynch made a show together, that would be the weirdest show. But I think it
so
could be
good.
fun. I mean, Vince worked on the X-Files before, so he's kind of... He's dabbled in some mystery stuff. He could do it. As long as the main characters, they have to have two versions of themselves, because that's David Lynch's favorite thing. In everything. In every single thing I've watched of David Lynch, there's always... They have dual personalities, or there's two sides.
Peaks.
Two Peaks. Oh, yeah, I guess that the whole name of the show really...
The whole name of the show can explain the entire show.
Yeah. But, so we got that. When asked if there are going to be any new Breaking Bad things set in the Breaking Bad universe, he said there's no plans. Right now, he's like, I'm just going to do my own thing. But Peter Gould, he said, never say never. So he might take up
a Huel
the mantle.
spinoff, boys.
Yeah, I would love a Huel spinoff.
Where did Huel go? I need him.
We know where Huel went. The receptionist said.
Yeah.
Didn't he go back to Louisiana?
He went to Louisiana.
Yeah. Back to his Cajun roots. But yeah, I would love, like, Peter Gould's been, I mean, it's been kind of said that Peter Gould's kind of been taking over more towards the end of Better Call Saul as Vince has been working on his new thing. And these last 2 seasons of Saul have been absolutely phenomenal. So I would love a Peter Gould Breaking Bad spinoff. If Vince wants to do his weirdo Twilight Zone stuff, I think I'll be interested in watching whatever both of those guys do, because I absolutely love Better Call Saul. So there you go. There's your Vince / Breaking Bad news roundup. We got some Fargo season 5 news, and this is going to be news that really interests you, Babby, because I know how much of a Stranger Things fan you are. Joe Keery is going to be in Fargo season 5 with John Hamm.
I love Joe Keery.
I think Joe Keery could... he's probably John Hamm's son in that show.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because I could see that for sure. I'm just so excited to see John Hamm in something. And I really like Joe Keery in that new season of Stranger Things. I haven't seen him in anything else, so it'll be interested to seeing not in Stranger Things and trying to do a Midwest accent or a
It'll be so good.
a Fargo accent.
Very cool.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. I wanted to briefly talk about The Boys because I have been watching it. I finished the first season. I'm about 2 to 3 episodes into season 2, and I am absolutely loving it. It's a nice twist on the format that has become kind of stale. Superhero things are very dumb and boring right now. And The Boys is very cheeky and irreverent and soul-crushingly devastating. Homelander, who's like Superman, not a super good guy.
What?
I don't
That's such
know.
a hot take, bro.
I know it's a hot take. I know. But yeah, this second season, it's been a little rougher to get into. I think it didn't really, I don't know. It's been really slow to start. It just feels like everything is so, it really is so depressing. It feels like the main characters have absolutely nothing to do, and nothing they can do will make a difference. And it's like that for like 3 episodes, and there's no light spots anywhere. It's really sad, which I guess is the whole point of the show. But I saw like when they parodied that Imagine thing that Gal Gadot did, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a funny show. No, it's not a funny show.
Oh,
Not a funny show at all. But I thought it would be kind of funny to rank superhero shows or superhero franchises as how realistic they are to if superheroes in real life. I put least realistic as Marvel, and then DC, and then I put The Incredibles, because if you remember at the beginning of The Incredibles, some dude tries to kill himself and Mr. Incredible saves him, and then that dude sues Mr. Incredible because he wanted to die, and then superheroes are made illegal because some dude wanted to kill himself and Mr. Incredible didn't. So I put that a step above DC because I've never seen that in a Green Lantern comic. And then a step above that, I put Watchmen, the movie. I guess there's some stuff. I mean, that one guy is super rapey, and one of the lesbian superheroes is killed for being lesbian. But Zack Snyder, being Zack Snyder, kind of turns it into a stupid gore fest, and he likes Rorschach, even though Rorschach is bad. So I put that there, and then I put the Watchmen show, and then I put the Watchmen book, and then I put The Boys. The Boys is the most realistic I've seen, because if superheroes were real, they would not be good people, and they would be run by a corporation for sure. Elon Musk would have superhero people working for him and promoting his brands and stuff.
So true.
So, if you've not seen The Boys, I highly recommend it. It's definitely not for everyone. It is probably one of the goriest shows I've ever seen. And there is a lot of sex stuff. A lot of they like to hang dong in the show.
let's go.
Yes.
Just what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I know everyone likes it when they hang dong, but I know some people probably don't like it when they hang dong.
Oh, they're just.
I don't like those people.
I don't like those people either. It's funny because there's almost no female nudity. If I like at the top of my head, I can think of 0 instances of
All
female
the
nudity.
boys,
It's called The Boys, and there's probably dozens of examples of male nudity.
For the boys, by the boys.
That's right. So if you like male nudity, then this is the show for you. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. But let's get into some movie news. I only have one bit of movie news, and then we're going to move on to some discussion stuff. This I could have put in who asked for this, but I decided to put it in regular news because I know some people like Rogue One, but Rogue One is getting re-released on August 26th in select IMAX theaters with an exclusive look at Andor.
And or what?
And or a show produced by Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to see it. I unfortunately saw Rogue One already once in theaters. I do not feel the need to resubmit myself to that. Plus, I just watched all the Fast and Furious movies and my brain is dead. And I need to watch some good movies ASAP. But there you go. If you've not seen Rogue One and you like watching bad Star Wars movies, then there you go. Watch it in IMAX and then get a teaser of a show you're going to watch a month later. Let's talk about Nope, eh?
No.
Let's
So
do it.
it's been a while since I saw Nope. But you saw it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't get too much into it. I was relatively positive on the movie. A little bit further removed. I still enjoyed the movie. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's his best. I don't think it's better than Get Out. But what do you think? What are your opinions on Nope?
It was pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Get Out. But it's very Jordan Peele, and I like that. He's always very refreshing.
Yes.
He's got this kind of... He's, like, so in touch, so where his humor feels natural when he, like, people talk like real people in his movies, and
Yeah.
that's so rare.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people have that ability to write like that. But
Him
the
and
humor's pretty
Tarantino.
cool. Yeah.
Tarantino
Yeah.
can write people.
And then just, like, the wackiness of this movie is really great. It's, like, scary, but at the same time it's not, because there's just so much, like, weird stuff happening.
I didn't really think it was really scary. Like the alien part, I wasn't
The
necessarily
monkey is the
scared of.
scariest part.
The monkey
Everything else
is
fine.
legitimately scary. Both scenes with the
Yeah.
monkey were some of the most unsettling scenes.
Yeah, but everything else was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think on the first review, I kind of compared it to Independence Day.
A little bit.
A little bit. Not really, because Independence Day is pretty stupid. Like
This movie's pretty stupid on paper, but it's executed really well.
it's executed really well. I enough time has passed. I think we can talk about the spoilers. I really like the twist on it, where there's a UFO and it's abducting horses, and you're kind of set up to think. I guess I already said we're getting into spoilers. Going into this, you're like, okay, there's going to be aliens on this ship and they're abducting horses for some reason. And then it's revealed that no, there aren't aliens aboard a ship. The ship
I need
is
to correct you.
a
Nope.
huge alien. Nope.
You said no.
Nope. There are no
There you
aliens on the ship. The alien is the ship. The ship is a giant living organism that has been abducting horses and consuming them. So that's the little Jordan Peele twist he threw in there. But it wasn't something that was like, oh, now I'm gonna see the whole movie different. Like in Get Out, I think like if you rewatch that movie and you see all the scenes with the workers, I'm sure that comes under a different light now that you know who they are and how they got that way. This one's like, oh, okay, it's just a big alien. It's kind of fun. It's fun to see him.
Big alien.
Big alien. But yeah, I don't know. I really tried to rack my brain for like deeper meanings and societal commentaries that he was trying to work on, and I think the only thing I could think of is like people profiting off of things that are destroying the earth, like if there was this huge, like if there was an alien invasion, let's say like a big UFO hits San Francisco, like the next day Amazon would be selling shirts with pictures of them on it.
So true.
So true. Says a lot about society, which is kind of reflected with like there's, Daniel Kaluuya and Kiki Palmer. They see a UFO and instead of reporting it, they just want to like be the first people to capture video of it so that they can sell it. And it's like, okay, I kind of get what you're doing there. It's not like a huge biting social commentary, but it is there.
Straightforward enough where it's still like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah,
Just treat animals better too.
Oh yeah, there is some of that. But yeah, I mean it's enough to differentiate it from other alien movies because we've gotten so many alien invasion movies, and most of them are just dumb schlock of let's see UFOs destroy huge landmarks and then our heroes will get in futuristic space fighters and kill them.
Yay.
This one's a little different. They're not trying to kill the aliens, they're trying to get them on video, which is an interesting twist. But yeah, very good movie.
Zoomer alien movie.
Zoomer alien movie. Except Jordan Peele is like 40.
Yeah.
But if you still haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. Not as scary as his other stuff. Just close your eyes during the monkey if you're too squeamish for that kind of stuff.
If you're a coward.
If you're a coward.
Or if you don't have a monkey fear yet, you will.
I still don't have a monkey fear. I love monkeys.
Yeah, monkeys
so
are kind of cute.
Monkeys are awesome. Which I saw. I don't know if you saw this. Like a week after the movie came out, Jordan Peele released the theme song for Gordy's Home. Did you watch that?
No.
Okay, it's really funny because it's like an 80s theme song, but it ends with like the Asian kid under the table like reading a book or something, and then Gordy comes up and gives him a fist bump. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun. I wondered if that was like a deleted scene from the movie.
Might have been.
Because it easily could have been like before the first monkey scene at the very beginning of the movie. That would have been fun. But there you go. There's your Nope discussion. You cowards can stop asking for it. I know everybody's been so angry that we didn't talk about it next week or last week, even though we promised it. But there you go. Let's talk about Fast and Furious. I don't have a whole lot to say about the last two. I had a lot to say. I don't think I said that because I had a lot to say about Fate of the Furious. That was one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. And it is my favorite of the whole franchise. But F9 was like Fate of the Furious, but if all the action was worse. So I inevitably enjoyed it way less. Also, The Rock and Jason Statham are not in it. I don't know why.
They were too busy filming Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that was what I was implying with the silence. So it was pretty lame. Paul Walker's wife comes back. While Paul Walker's job is babysitting all the kids. Because Vin Diesel has a kid now. So instead of joining them on their adventures, they let Brian just chill with all these babies. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember F9, the Fast Saga. It was so forgettable. But Hobbs and Shaw, I just watched that. And I'm doing something new. I don't know if this is going to go over well. You guys are going to have to let me know if this is cringe or epic. I wrote an intro.
Cringe.
I know, very cringe. I've seen other review channels do this, and I think this would be a little good way to structure it a little. So this is my intro for Hobbs and Shaw. Give me feedback at our Twitter that doesn't exist anymore. or I don't know, send us an email. But here we go. Idris Elba makes his franchise debut as Bloodsport, a ruthless mercenary who always hits his target. Yeah, wait, no, sorry. That's the wrong Idris Elba film. This is the right one. Idris Elba plays the antagonist in this beloved adaptation of a video game as Knuckles, the... Oh, wrong movie again. This one is the right one, I swear. Idris Elba plays cyber criminal / terrorist / black Superman Brixton Lore in this thrilling spin-off of the Fast and Furious movies. Dead set in creating a virus that infects the blood sport of every weak human on the planet, Black Superman steals a sample of the virus. Unfortunately for him, Deckard Shaw's sister, Lady, infects herself with the virus before Idris can get it, and now has to find a way to cure herself before she dies of eventual death. Or something. In order to save the day, Cool's spy agency recruits The Rock and British Rock to find Shaw's sister and stop Idris Elba from literally wiping out the entire population of Earth with his bare knuckles. Applause? Questions?
Yeah, I was pausing so you could enter applause into the edit.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You can use the clap that I did if you can hear it. If you did hear it.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, well, I did clap.
Okay, I appreciate
I guess it was
it.
just too quiet.
Please clap.
So there you go. That's the basic plot synopsis of Hobbs and Shaw. It was fine. I didn't really like it, but it was better than most of these Fast and Furious movies. So there's that. It's funny because I'm pretty sure most of it is improv. They just had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham be like, you two hate each other. You guys should point out each other's insecurities and make fun of each other for real. And then they did that. And that was kind of funny because you could see them break, which doesn't make it a good movie, but it was kind of charming. Also, the ending of the movie takes place in Samoa, which is I hardly see that place in movies. And I thought that was a neat thing. And I don't know, they electronically disabled all of their guns, so they had to fight with old Samoan like clubs and stuff, that was kind of sick. But honestly, I was having a really hard time focusing because it was so boring. But I would say watch Hobbs and Shaw because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is pretty cool. The action in it's pretty good. Not as good as Fate of the Furious, but up there. And it doesn't really tie into F9, which technically came out after Hobbs and Shaw. But yeah, so I'm going to go over my list now because I've watched every single Fast and Furious movie. I will see Fast 10, Your Seatbelts, once it comes out. I think it's coming out next year, so I will be watching that. But here is my top 10 Fast and Furious movies by Watch Mojo. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom. Number 10, the worst Fast and Furious movie. 10 and 9 are interchangeable, but I gave Fast 5 a leg up because it happened. It's in Brazil, and that's kind of funny.
This is Brazil.
I gave it a leg up for that reason. But the worst one is Fast and Furious 6. I hated this movie. It made me very angry.
Runway idiot baby movie.
I think that's the Runway one. I honestly don't remember it at all. I think that's the one where Michelle Rodriguez comes back, and she lost her memory, which is a soap opera trope when they did it in a Fast and Furious movie. That one sucked.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Fast 5. That one's kind of funny because it takes place in Brazil. And it's also the first one that has The Rock in it, which is kind of funny. But he plays the bad guy in that movie until he isn't. And then he's a good guy for the rest of the franchise. So that's kind of odd. But that one also sucked. The ending car chase was just dragging a vault around Rio. And my DVD skipped and I didn't see the whole chase. So I don't even know how it ends. But It probably doesn't even matter. That couldn't save that movie. It was so bad.
It's a car chase.
It's a car chase, and not a good one, because there are
To be-
way better ones.
To be fair, car chases would be the one thing to save those movies if there was something to save it
True.
in one of them.
Yes.
That was the
Maybe you
purpose
should
of the
watch
movies
it.
in the first place.
Yes. I gotta say, I actually do enjoy new Fast and Furious. They're solid spy thrillers with car elements in them. But yeah, that doesn't necessarily make them good movies. Number 8 is F9. That movie was weird and bad. I forgot to mention that Cardi B is in that movie for one scene. Yeah. She plays like a police chief. Weird casting. Yeah, I think she's in it. I forgot to mention that Ryan Reynolds is in Hobbs and Shaw. And
Heck yeah.
oh, there's someone else. Oh, Kevin Hart. Because
Well, yeah, The Rock's in
yeah,
it.
The
So
Rock and Kevin
Hart's
Hart.
got to be in it, you know?
That's the first one that he's been in. He was not in F9 or any of the other ones, but he played an air marshal. That pretty much tells you everything you need to know about Kevin Hart.
But he's so far away from the sky. He's like 4'7".
I know. His whole arc is that he wants to be on the same team with Hobbs and Shaw, because he's an air marshal and he used to be a Navy SEAL, but his unit got dissolved, so then he got transferred into the air marshal service, which is weird to imagine Kevin Hart as a Navy SEAL.
Weird to imagine Kevin Hart as anything other than himself.
That's true. And Ryan Reynolds played an FBI agent who was a Rock super fan. He's like, me and him are best friends, and The Rock's like, I've only talked to you twice. And I don't know, Ryan Reynolds was pretty funny in it. The Rock was, or no, not The Rock. Kevin Hart was fine. He was in like 2 scenes. But yeah, stay away from the last 3, I would say. Too Fast, Too Furious is number 7. The only reason it's so high is because I like that Paul Walker and Tyrese Gibson, they have a bromance. All of the reviews I saw for this are, these
Really
two
cute.
guys are dating, aren't they?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's-
it
it's
really
canon.
does. Yeah, I think it's canon.
The whole boat scene and everything is great.
Yeah, the car does jump off a ramp onto a boat,
Yeah,
which
and
is
they're
pretty
wearing funny
sick.
Hawaiian shirts. It's pretty
They
cool.
are. Yeah, they're wearing their Tommy Bahama's best. But that's the only good part in the movie. The rest of it is pretty bad. Which is why it's so low. Number 6 is Furious 7. That was unfortunate. I don't. Oh wait, actually one lined up. One movie
Okay,
did
good.
line up, but
Number 6 is number 7.
number 6 is number 7. This movie was pretty forgettable, except for the ending where Paul Walker's deep fake thing happened. I honestly don't even
That's
remember.
the best part in cinema history.
It is. It's the only part of the movie I remember. The rest of it I forgot. All of these movies are the same at this point. But yeah, I just remember I didn't hate it, so I put it above Too Fast, Too Furious. Number 5 is The Fast and the Furious. That's the first one. I didn't really like this movie. It's a car person's movie, and I know nothing about cars. But that being said, it did have some really good car chases, had some good race scenes. A lot of it was practical. This was before these movies had big budgets like they do now. So it was pretty cool watching some actual street races. Well, not actual, but they did have to close down the streets. So, yeah, it's nice to see where they started it all. And I wish that Vin Diesel stayed out of the franchise, but unfortunately, he is the franchise now. It was interesting that there was an era of these movies where Vin Diesel was not in it. Kind of weird.
Good old days.
The good old days, the first 3 movies. The third movie didn't even have Paul Walker in it. It was just a completely... That one was the first Hobbs and Shaw, if you think about it. Speaking of Hobbs
But
and...
good.
But good. Well, I have Hobbs and Shaw at number 4. Even though I did kind of I don't know. I made fun of this movie a lot. It was better than most of these movies. I forgot to mention how much this movie relied on bullet time, which is why I was surprised to find out that this movie was not directed by the Wachowskis of Matrix fame. They're just bringing it back.
Would be strange.
It would have been strange. But did you see that new Matrix movie? That movie was strange.
I mean, yeah, but not Fast and Furious.
No,
strange.
not Fast and Furious strange. I think they even say it in the movie. This is a little bit of a tangent, but in the new Matrix movie, like one of the execs for Warner Brothers, like yes, the actual antagonists of the movie is Warner Brothers, the studio that produced the movie.
So good.
They're like, we're going to make this Matrix sequel whether you're in it or not, which is directly what Warner Brothers told the Wachowskis. So I think only Lana Wachowski worked on the fourth Matrix movie, because the other one's like, I don't care. I don't want to do it. And the whole thing is basically meta about how the Matrix is a weird film bro movie now and stuff. It's odd. It's odd. If you're into the meta stuff, then check out that movie. If you're into stupid bullshit, then keep paying attention to this list. God damn it. The third one.
When do we swear on here?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to know that.
Okay. Number 3 is Tokyo Drift. Finally one that lined up. Tokyo Drift, pretty cool. It's the best adaptation of Karate Kid I've seen after the Karate Kid. I liked Han as a character in this movie and none of the other movies, because he's a nothing. He's nothing.
They ran out of character.
They ran out of. He was cool as like a Mr. Miyagi type, where he's like teaching this Texan guy how to drift around corners. But when they take him out of that and put him in like a team of like 10 people, he doesn't really have anything to do, and all of his quirks of being like this interesting teacher guy are lost. Oh, I forgot to bring up in Fast 9, they bring him back. Again.
I hope they don't kill him again in the 10th movie.
It's so weird.
It'll be the third time he gets got. Or the fourth time, actually. I think they showed him dying 3 times on screen.
Yeah, that would be the third time, because they show him dying again in Fast 9.
Awesome.
I don't know how they keep getting away with this, because the third movie he definitely died, and then they're like, okay, we caught up to the timeline. Furious 7 takes place after Tokyo Drift. So Han is dead. Canon. He is dead. He's not in the team anymore. The team like is at Han's funeral. And then in Fast 9, he's like, Kurt Russell had me fake my death, and then I had to stay away from everybody.
Not actually dead.
But I'm coming back. And
he dies again in the 10th movie.
he doesn't. Well, he might die in the new one. I don't know.
I hope he dies in a 10th movie just to add to it.
I hope so, because he's died so many times. Well, it's the same death, but it's been shown.
Yeah,
like,
but they
so
keep
many times.
showing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they bring him back, and then he does nothing because it's the same character. He has nothing to do. I don't know why they keep bringing him back. But yeah, Tokyo Drift, pretty good movie. Not a Fast and Furious movie, aside from Vin Diesel being at the very end, but pretty good movie. Number 2 is Fast and Furious, aka Fast and Furious 4. This one was pretty good. Vin Diesel's return. Michelle Rodriguez is dead, and it's a revenge story where Vin Diesel and Paul Walker have to team up to kill the people who killed Michelle Rodriguez for real. She's really dead this time. You guys gotta believe me.
No way.
She's not gonna come back.
Never.
She never ever comes back. Ever. And then Paul Walker impregnates his Dom's sister, Vin Diesel's sister, which is elaborated on in Fast 5 and Fast 7 and Fast 6.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. So watch the movie. That one's really good. I remember really liking that one. And then number 1, my absolute favorite, is The Fate of the Furious, which is surprising to me. This one is one of the lower rated ones on Letterboxd. Not that Letterboxd is to be trusted with stupid movies. But I don't know why I like this movie so much. The action in it is so awesome. The actual fight scenes are great. It is just an absolute like clusterfuck. Nothing makes sense. And that's why it's awesome. It's just an awesome movie. You guys gotta watch it. Plus, it's you guys gotta. It's great.
We'll watch it next weekend.
Okay, great. I don't want to watch it again. I just watched it.
Don't tell me to watch it.
Well, you should watch it because it's funny. But maybe, next time you come down or something, we can watch it. I just watched it like 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to watch it again like right now. But I'll watch it again later. Plus, it's directed by the guy who did Friday and Straight Outta Compton, which are the weirdest two movies. But he also made Fate of the Furious. So
I think that movie had kind of a banger soundtrack too. I remember correctly.
I don't remember. Hobbs and Shaw. Okay, here I have something to bitch about for Hobbs and Shaw. They used a cover of "Time in a Bottle," which is one of my favorite songs. It's a classic Jim Croce tune, and it's a metal cover of it. It's probably one of the worst things I've ever heard.
That's so cool.
It starts off like it's a pretty faithful cover to the Jim Croce song. They use that at the opening of the movie at like this initial heist where Lady injects herself with this blood virus. And then at the end, over the opening credits, they play the metal version that happens after the little intro. And it's really bad. So, yeah, don't use that movie again, Fast and Furious. Don't use that song again, Fast and Furious. I would be so angry. But there you go. That's my definitive list of Fast and Furious movies. If you want to see it, it is on my Letterboxd, which is in the description of every single podcast. So take a peruse in my lists. I also have all of the Tarantino movies ranked, Star Wars movies, Edgar Wright movies, all the Wes Anderson movies I've seen. So if you're interested in where I rank things, then go to my Letterboxd. So there you go. That's all I've got. I do have some music things. You're probably not going to talk about it, and it doesn't really have anything to do with music, but it does, and it does.
But it's a music thing.
Yeah. So it relates to Kendrick's short film We Cry Together, which is not out yet publicly. I think it was shown at like a film festival.
It was shown, and I don't know if he even plans to release it.
I don't know. But that and Taylor Swift's All Too Well 10-minute version music video are both eligible to be nominated for Oscar's Best Short Film.
Oh.
Yeah. The Oscars are usually pretty stingy with what they let in. Like, they didn't want to have Inside be nominated for stuff. They don't usually talk about stuff that is allowed to be nominated, but they announced this week that Kendrick's short film that isn't even out yet and Taylor Swift's music video are both eligible to be nominated. Not that they're actually going to be, but they can be. So
this is just a ploy by the establishment to get them closer to getting an EGOT award or a Tony. Is that what it is? Where they
no,
get
this
all
is
of them?
Oscar. Well, yeah, EGOT is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this getting them one step closer.
I don't even know if Taylor Swift has a Tony. I know Kendrick doesn't have a Tony.
Not yet.
Not yet. The South Park movie is going to be adapted into a Broadway musical.
Yeah. Mr. Morale's practically a Broadway musical.
Yeah. I suppose. But that's all I have. Now we're going to transition into the music segment of the podcast hosted by Baby.
Ooh.
Did you just
That guy
boo your own
sucks.
segment?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
All right. This week sucked, okay? This week's good, though.
What does that mean?
Last week we had, like, nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
This week we do.
Oh, okay.
Jid did the unthinkable. He set an album release date.
What?
It finally happened. We're getting the Forever Story on August 26th. 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
We're in the 2 weeks countdown.
2
He also
weeks.
dropped a new song, Dance Now with Kenny Mason, and it's an absolute slapper,
Yeah.
which shouldn't be a surprise. This man is insane. So this is, one of the most anticipated albums of the past, I would say 3 years, since he's been teasing it for 3 years with the title attached to it for those 3 years. Which makes it harder when you already know like what the album title is and everything, and it still doesn't come out.
Yeah.
But we're finally here. So we got 2 weeks. It's going to be an absolute slapper of an album. I'm guessing surround sound and Dance Now's on it. I don't think he's putting Enemy featuring Imagine Dragons on it. That'd be really weird.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so cool. I don't think he's going to do that. But yeah, this new song is insane. Him and Kenny Mason are a great duo. Kenny Mason's got this really cool energy that he brings. And this man has so many flows. It's actually insane. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. Very.
This is your most anticipated.
This is my most anticipated as of now. And what else came out this week? Cheat Codes, Danger Mouse, and Black Thought. I think I touched on this a couple weeks ago. I don't remember.
I think so.
But this is a collab album between the two. It feels like an old Mad Villainy record. It's got this just killer lo-fi production, and Black Thought's one of the best rappers of all time. So you got bars for days. Features in this thing are insane. You got Raekwon, you got Joey Badass, you got MF Doom, you got Michael Kiwanuka, you got A$AP Rocky, you got Run the Jewels, you got Conway. It's stacked.
That's everybody.
It is everybody, actually. It's every rapper ever. This thing is, there's not a bad song here at all. There's obviously some that are a lot better than others, but every single song bangs. The production is fantastic. The use of samples is fantastic. This posthumous MF Doom verse is so good. Black Thought just gets absolutely destroyed on his own song, which doesn't happen probably ever. It's very rare that someone out-raps Black Thought. He's usually the star of the show and everything he's on. The one with A$AP Rocky and Run to Jewels is probably the best song here. A$AP Rocky kills it, and then just LP and Killer Mike are both just absolutely insane. Even when it's not an LP production, they still go super hard. I don't feel like I hear LP rap on not his own production a lot, so this is always like a good treat. This doesn't happen very often, but the album flows quite well. There's some that are a lot harder than others. Some smoother tracks kind of like lay out this sequencing, so it's not as just like and in your face the whole time. I think Michael Kiwanuka does great on production. I think he's on production at least. I think he does a hook on his feature. But yeah, this is really great. This is one of the best hip hop albums of the year. I think this crept into my top 5 actually, I think, on my ratings so far.
Oh, wow.
It's really good. It's one of those where you know it's going to be good because you have a great producer in Black Thought, so like it's a guarantee. It's going to be good. But it's so lo-fi, vintage, easy to listen to still. I guess the only thing against it is there's some mixing issues, especially in like Raekwon's verse. This dude like wrapped his verse into like an iPhone 4. You can like hear the grain and compression on it so much, which like when you're doing lo-fi stuff, like there's already a bit of that, and that's cool. Like it fits, but when Raekwon comes in, it's just like so much.
Weird.
So they could have dialed that back a little bit, or have him like actually go into a studio and record instead of like doing a Yeti or a Blue Snowball.
Yeah.
But other than that, like this thing is really great, and it's only 38 minutes, so it's like a perfect length for these kind of albums. You want something that's kind of short and to the point. But yeah, I still need to dissect this because I'm sure Black Thought's just dropping bars on bars, and you can't really pick up on all those in a couple listens, since he's pretty nutso with it.
Yeah.
Those are the big things this week. Hip hop's coming back for the year. There was a little bit of a lull left. Ever since Kendrick dropped, I wasn't very interested in any of the rap albums that came out afterwards. but this one's like probably my top 3 rap albums of the year. It's really good.
Oh, good.
And then Jid's coming in 2 weeks. But 2 other albums I listened to this week. I did Laughing Stock by Talk Talk. That's rhymes. That's funny.
That's fun.
I did Spirit of Eden last week. I really, really loved that record. This record's it's a little bit evolved. Same kind of thing. I think they're both 6 songs. Yeah, they're both 6 songs. About the same length, similar covers. I need to listen to Laughing Stock more because I keep getting the 2 confused. But tracks like Ascension Day and New Grass and stuff are just really, really nice. It's just more of easy listening post rock, which is always good. So yeah, really great. And there's the vocals on here are pretty good as well. Again, it's post rock where I can actually understand the words because they're in English.
Oh, that's good.
And there are words because like there's a lot of not word songs.
Yeah.
There's no words in a lot of post rock. But yeah, Laughing Stock's pretty good. I know people say this is probably better than Spirit of Eden. I need to listen to it more, but I might have ran through them too quickly just because there's a lot of fantastic music we have right now. I am definitely overwhelmed by the amount of quality music. I feel like our reaction series for the past 3 weeks has been nothing but absolute bangers.
Yeah, we're on a streak right now of having like
Yeah.
exclusively
Yeah.
great stuff.
We had Snail Mail and then Cocktail Twins and then SZA. So
And I have
That's-
been absolutely like super into SZA. That has
Yeah.
been my thing for the last week.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So we're taking a little bit of a break with this retrospective on Monday. We've gotten way too much really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, we need to back it up.
Yeah, chill out a bit. The other thing I listened to this week is Mount Zion, or Silver Mount Zion, as they are on Spotify. This band has like 6 different names. This is just the Godspeed, Black Emperor guitarist. This is his side group. And I listened to, oh god, this is going to be a long name. He has left us alone, but shafts of light sometimes grace the corner of our rooms.
Oh,
Very, very short album title.
yeah.
But this is his side project where he was kind of focusing on compositions and different things that he couldn't really do, that didn't really fit the band's sound at the time. So this is a modern classical record.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's the official genre. But it's basically Godspeed without the guitar. And piano's a lot more prevalent instead of the guitar being the main instrument there. And there is some singing on this record, so it's a little bit different. But it is just as good as some of the Godspeed records. It's a little bit of a different vibe. The songs aren't too long, unless you consider 9 minutes and 47 seconds long, but I think that's pretty short compared to their other stuff. But I think he made this when his dog passed away. I think he needed like a side project to keep his mind off things, and then he made this thing. And it's really, really fantastic. There's no crescendos that are like huge like regular Godspeed records. There aren't like these gigantic builds or anything, but the atmosphere here is still absolutely insane. He has this like signature piano style. Like artists will get these signature piano styles where they do certain chords and nobody else really does it that way. He definitely has that here. The weirdest thing about this record is that like a song on it blew up on TikTok, which is weird because it's post rock. But the song blew up on TikTok because people thought like there was a real recording of like what angels sounded like. And then they made TikToks based off of it. But it's really just this song, and nobody knew that it was this song.
Oh.
And people were just like, this is supposedly what angels sound like. And they did it in the TikTok version where it's like the automated voice said it, and then they would just stare at the screen and let the audio play. I'm like, it takes 2 seconds to Google this song. You could Shazam this song. So if you look at the album, everything is below 1 million plays except for the one angel song, and that's 7.5 million plays.
Oh, wow.
It is a really, really good song. I'm surprised this record didn't get more attention from this, because like people were saying like, oh, this is kind of like eerie but really beautiful at the same time. Like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Like he intentionally did this. like he the whole point of the song was to like simulate what an angel would sound like, but I guess people just took it on TikTok and are like, guys, this is a real angel sound recording.
Oh, I
My
gotta
God,
love it. Yeah.
come on! Every time you're so close, just go a little bit deeper, please.
Yeah.
Appreciate this man because he has done some incredible things. But yeah, this record's really great. It's so much easier to listen to than a lot of Godspeed records. One, because it's a lot shorter, and the compositions here are just so nice. There are definitely some that could like fit into like Skinny Fist. It was made around the same time, so you still got the very same vibe of it. A lot less politically charged, besides like Movie and like the first two tracks. Those are still pretty politically charged, but other than that, it's just other experimental kind of like passages that he wanted to get through. And the closer's really fantastic as well. So, not a lot of people talk about this. Mount Zion. It's just kind of that group that's been like cast as a side profile of what Godspeed was. So, I might dig into their discography because this stuff is just crack to my ears. It's so easy to listen to. It's just the style of it is so fantastic. So still doing post rock. I'm not done yet. It's too good of a genre for me to be like, oh, I'm gonna go on something else. Now that we have dream pop and shoegaze introduced on the main channel, like I can like wait for other records like that.
Yeah.
Since we kind of have audience interest in that, so which is good. Sounds like a lot of people like their Heaven or Las Vegas video and recommended some other stuff. So
That's cool.
I'll try to keep some of that on the main channel, which is good because I want to explore this genre, and I think having people there to recommend stuff and everything is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Heaven or Las Vegas is still by far the most played thing I have on my playlist. It's too good. But I'll talk about that more on the retrospective this week,
Of course.
which you'll hear
Well,
next
it'll
week.
be
I
next
guess.
week, yeah.
Yeah.
Not taking a week off from that.
No,
Of course not.
we're just gonna be talking about stuff,
Yeah.
specifically the albums we listen to.
And how much editing can really go into that?
Not much. We'll
Not
see on
much.
Tuesday when I edit it.
Yeah, they're very easy.
Yeah,
That's my my little secret.
it's your cheat week.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
like, oh boy, a retrospective.
I actually don't like. I mean, retrospectives are fine, but I would
Yeah.
rather be listening to new stuff. But I think this one is needed. We have a lot of stuff to.
We have a lot of stuff, and we have a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
And Doug
Yeah.
Walker.
and Doug Walker, and the new Post Malone.
Oh yes, yeah. That I forgot that record existed. Wow. My bad.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. You guys will see that next week. Later today, our SZA reaction's going to be coming out.
Let's go.
I'm very excited for that. Hopefully, we get.
Watch that. Unless you're in Russia, then sorry.
Is it blocked in Russia?
It's blocked in Russia. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Unfortunately.
Russians.
Or Russian.
This is just one more thing done to Russian citizens.
Yep.
Can't get
Can't even listen to
passports.
SZA. It's crazy.
Can't go to McDonald's. Can't listen to our SZA reaction. What has the world come to?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope we get some positive stuff. I was a little worried when I picked this as a thing in case we were negative, or if I was negative, then we would get probably.
You liked it more
flamed.
than I did, so I don't think we're
I
gonna have any issues
absolutely
there.
love it. It's yeah.
We did better. The Mariah Carey reaction, I was half asleep and I just moved that weekend and I was tired and Black Country was coming out in a week, so I didn't care about any other music except for that. And it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
It was a bad video. On my part, at least. I don't want to speak for you.
I still don't like the record really.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't have
think the
anything to
record's
blame.
pretty decent.
It's fine.
I was just not in the headspace to record a video, and then we recorded it anyways, and then it popped off.
I
And I'm
think
like,
that was
"Frick, This is
one-
the worst possible thing.
We had no idea. Like, we just thought it was gonna be some video. It would probably get 100 views or something. and now it's one of
course
our
not.
most viewed videos.
Yep.
And it's just full of people saying we are stupid and dumb and should not be reviewing R&B because we're white. Which,
Yeah.
let's see how they feel when we review SZA with a critical eye.
With a critical eye. I was just vibing the whole video. I had like nothing of substance to say.
No, I didn't really either. Man, I love it so much. I've been listening to it. So, yeah, if you want to see me enjoy a video or enjoy an album right off bat, doesn't usually happen.
You're a stone cold fence wall.
Yep.
Concrete wall.
Concrete lol. So, that's podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you enjoyed my Fast and Furious intro, if you want more quirky intros.
That was so good.
Oh, thanks, Paul. I know I could count on you. Always give me
I'm
positive
gonna do that for
feedback.
music now.
Yeah, you probably should. Your music segment is so boring.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like write.
So true.
Yeah, just write something funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a whole bunch of quirky buzzwords in it too.
That's the only way to do it.
I'm just gonna start everything like a presidential speech.
My
Hey,
fellow Americans.
This new JIT album, a mixture of melodic trap and Atlanta's booming hip hop sound, comes across as a genre-bending, defiant record.
You're gonna have to do a Joe Biden impression now. You're 8 years too late.
That's true.
Okay, there's your little taste of biting political commentary. Just to end the podcast with some burns on Dark Brandon.
I love Dark Brandon. I hate Joe Biden. They're two different people.
They're two different people. Yeah. Well. Adios.